Good evening. Thank you for joining the Mizfitz Sport Radio once again. I am your host, Chris. As you can see, it's three of us again. Welcome back, Chips, off his hiatus.
I'm back in the building. Can I get the... There you go.
Pop on the ones and twos, DJ Pop.
Salute.
Welcome back, fellas. Welcome back to another episode of Mizfitz Sport Radio. You know, been a lot going on. Glad to see more than two of us on here now. You know, we got a third again. Three amigos. We missing our fourth compadre. He's out of commission right now, but we hope to have him back for next episode.
Don't know where he at.
Word.
We tried to get some more of the other misfits on here, but, you know, that's a work in progress with these guys, you know, working with schedules and stuff like that. But eventually. But while we're here, you know the deal. Let's talk some sports.
Let's do it.
First up, depressing, disappointing Major League Baseball playoffs, guys. Right now, as we all watching disappointment as our Yankees blow it.
I ain't watching nothing.
I'm watching, man.
I'm watching y'all. That's what I'm watching.
I just want to go on the record and say, I said we had to get the first game. Said that.
4-1. It's 4-1. 2 outs. Top of the ninth.
I said we got to punch him in the mouth.
And we pretty much dead.
Punch him in the mouth, man.
But yeah, let me start off with this baseball.
Go ahead.
It started Tanaka, man.
Cause I'm back. Man.
Shut up.
So it looks like we got the Dodgers and the Brewers, and it looks like it's going to be the Red Sox in Houston. How good are the Brewers? How much faith you want to put into them? You got the small market team against the high-powered LA Dodgers. And you got the Sox against Houston. So you got one of the best teams in baseball historically. And then you got Houston who feel like they don't get enough credit. Defending world champs. That's going to be a great matchup. Something about the Red Sox when they played my Yankees, and it was very shocking to me. Alex Cora, how good of a manager is he? The decisions he made to switch up those lineups to go against the starting pitcher, like CC Sabathia tonight, and who started yesterday?
Severino.
Yeah,
Severino.
The way he switched up those lineups.
Yeah, PH. Severino, PH. Him.
It kind of like got me like in it, and I hate to say it because I'm a Yankees fan, diehard, but for a manager to make that decision, it felt like the old manager. You know what I mean? Now it's so much analytics and, you know, what do you do in this spot? And managers don't push the envelope like that. You know what I mean? And for him to just say, you know what, this is going to give us our best chance against these pitchers, and it worked out. Both times he made those substitutions or lineup changes, the hitters went like 2 for 3 or 2 for 4 or whatever, and drove wins in. And
then the two guys he put in today, they both got hits. I think one of them got an RBI.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. So it's crazy, the job that he's doing with his Red Sox. And I think it was episode 2 where I said that it's pretty much going to be Red Sox because they were the most consistent all year. I as much as I hate to say, the Yankees just was inconsistent with injuries, and then, you know, they couldn't manufacture runs, and that's the problem. Like, if they don't hit the long ball and, you know, have 3 or 4 home runs a night, it's going to be tough for them to chip away. The rest in game 3, the Red Sox, game 3, the Red Sox didn't overpower the Yankees. But they just, you know, chip, you know, a bunt here or, you know, a sac fly there and extra base here.
Wait. You say game 3?
No, not game 3. What game was that?
Game 1, you probably talking about.
Probably talking about game 1, yeah.
Exactly, game 1. My bad.
No, and I agree with you. That's why we should.
Embarrassment. Yeah, pardon me.
Hap shouldn't have been starting on game 1, man.
Yeah.
We gotta come strong game 1, man.
Yeah. So game. That's probably why, because I wanted to put game 3 out of my memory, because that was embarrassing to watch that. I think I turned it off in the 5th inning, and went back to Fortnite. But yeah,
that's it.
That's it, man. I'm depressed. I don't want to talk baseball.
Man, like I think everybody had because it was just me and Chips that episode. Me and Chris that episode. We both pretty much said game 1 was the key, and game 1 we ain't, like you said, they ain't overpower us. We gave up early runs. And they just held on. Because we got Chris Sell out the game quick. He went 5 innings. He ain't go long. But we can't give up them early runs, man. And I don't like Hat starting the game. You can't, man. You got to go in there with whoever you think is the best. And there's no way you thought Hat was the best.
I feel like there's been a lot of questionable decisions by Boone. Not even just this playoffs, this season. And it got like true diehard Yankees fans are like really questioning a lot of the decisions he made. But I just want to go on the record and say, I've been saying this all year. Yankees don't have nobody that can play small ball.
Yo, what about the pitching, man?
Pitching was key, but
no, man, ain't no but.
Nah, it has to be a but.
Oh,
like literally.
I don't think the pitching was horrible.
Was it?
I don't think the pitching was horrible.
How was it not? Yo, we gave up 16 runs.
I mean, that was again. I don't want to
in the playoffs. No, that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, son. No.
Didn't happen. That was You had a journey for a cycle. That's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like
Game 3 didn't happen. We gave up 3 runs in the second inning of game 1 or the third inning.
But that goes to Aaron Boone and him not being able to make that human decision. Like, I have to take this pitcher out.
Or maybe our starting pitcher should be able to go more than 3 innings. How about that?
Well,
because remember when I said, dude looking shaky, somebody told me, nah, you can't be quick on the trigger.
Who said that?
In the third inning?
Period. No,
it ain't period.
He looked like if he don't make it out of this next inning, or if we don't score another run, don't have him come back in. Remember I said that. And you was like,
that was Severino. No. You said, why would you let...
This was wild card. This was the wild card.
Yeah, you said, why would you let 2 men get on base and then take them?
I said, why would you wait until 2 men get on the base? I said, if we don't score in this next round to increase the cushion, Severino didn't need to come back out there. Because his like they was going through, this was the third rotation through the batting order. By the third time, they got your timing. They got your pitch.
Oh, and that's another thing I don't like, yo. If you're an ace, you're an ace. You should have enough pitches to change this shit up where you can see the same hitter 3 times. Like when Chips just said the coach made him feel like it's old baseball. That's how old baseball used to be. It wasn't they seen him 3 times, so let's take him out. No, you supposed to be skilled enough to have enough pitches to confuse these dudes.
That's the relationship between the pitcher and the catcher, though. That's not just the pitchers. The catcher, that's the catcher calling the right game too.
I think it's too much analytics, man.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
It's way too much.
Analytics is slowly killing baseball.
It's way too much.
Definitely killing it for the casual fan. Like if you're not a diehard baseball,
ain't nobody saying yo man, we seen this the third time they seen Verlander. Let's take him out. Nah, he cooking. Yeah. We don't care how many times they seen him. They ain't like
when have our pitchers been cooking?
That's like I say.
I agree. We need pitching, but also it's the other stuff that comes into play too. You can't say analytics is taking over or is ruining it. Like analytics, look at what the Oakland A's did. Look at what the Brewers did. They don't have big bats. They played analytic baseball.
And they have
bunting,
and they have really good pitching. And they have really good pitching. They have really good pitching too, though.
It's a part of it. I agree.
It always starts with that.
The other stuff too.
Yo, when it comes to playoff baseball, that's why I used to always be like, it's fool's gold. These dudes, the Yankees used to win a game 7-6, 8-9. I'm not excited about that. You can't win in October like that.
It's about defense and manufacturing runs.
You can't win in October giving up more than 4 runs on a regular basis. It's not going to happen.
Absolutely agree. Back when Yankees were at their best, we outscored people, but we also outpitched them. Our defense, we didn't give up errors. We didn't give up extra base hits. We played small ball. We had guys that could bunt and run out and, you know what I mean, like leg out a bunt.
And I agree with y'all with the manufacturing, but I could understand why they don't neither, because we giving up 4 or 5 runs. It ain't like it's a 2-1 game or 2-3 game where that one run sacrifice fly or moving them from second to third is key. Nah, because that 1 point ain't enough. Because our pitching ain't going to hold it down.
Prime example, game 2, we was winning. I think we were winning by 2 runs.
Yeah, he put a bunt down. Yeah.
Brett Gardner up to the plate. We got runners on first and second. No outs. 3-4 years ago, what would Brett Gardner have done in that situation, Chip?
Done it.
That'd have been a straight bunt, advance the runners. Most of the time, Brett Gardner would beat the bunt out.
Somebody did bunt, though. I forgot what game it was, because I was surprised as hell.
Didi.
Was it Didi?
Yeah. Didi did a bunt. And
moving from second to third.
He was safe, but then they challenged him.
Oh, yeah. Yup.
Like, everybody is like Didi reminds me of Alfonso Soriano, son. Like, he's fast. He can leg it out, but everything is I got to swing for the fences. Everything. It makes no sense to me.
This team. I don't want to see no off-season moves about big bats. I don't.
They need to work.
There's no need to. Yeah, there's no need for any more big bats. But we went got Andrew McCutchen on a decline. Like, he's not the same Andrew McCutchen when he was on the Pirates.
All right. Give me that update clip. Give me that update soundtrack.
And Stanton out there looking like A-Rod his first year.
4-1, bottom of the ninth, first and second, 0 out.
Okay.
Trying to work on a comeback. Let's get it.
Who's that back?
Who's coming up? We got. Hold on, the commercial. I mean, not the commercial. They're showing the crowd right now. Mound visit. I'll talk to y'all. I'll let you know when they come back.
There's a ninth in there.
That's Stanton. That's Stanton. Stanton is up the bat.
Oh God! I just called him the E-Rod.
Nah, he gonna come through, baby.
He gonna do it? This will wipe out all his trouble.
Oh yes, it will. It sure.
He hit a home run now. Pop gonna be like, he great.
Word, hell yeah, he fucking he went from A-Rod to Jeter.
But so in the other series, I was very surprised at how swiftly and how bad the Brewers took out the Rockies. I thought that was going to be a little bit more of a series, but I don't think the Dodgers are going to make it past the Brewers. I think the Brewers is here to shock the world.
Listen, I think the Brewers this year's Houston, coming out of nowhere and playing good baseball, and it's going to be tough to beat. Right now, I got in the World Series. I think the Sox are going to beat Houston, so I got the Sox going against the Brewers.
I keep sleeping on them, man.
Sox going all the way. I told you the winner of the series is coming out of this
Houston
Sox series.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody listen. Houston is a good team, man.
Y'all see what Houston did to them last year.
The Red Sox is cooking, man. They cooking this shit, man.
They made easy work of the Red Sox last year. It ain't gonna be no different.
We'll see what happens.
I think the game plans are different this year.
Oh yeah, you could try.
Had a real tough season this season, man.
You could try. Me and Chris Sale ain't looking like Chris Sale.
I mean, he came in, took 13 pitches to get them out that eighth. I mean, he looking like Chris Sale.
Motherfucker cooking against my Yankees. I know that.
Nah, he ain't cook against the Yankees, man. He did decent.
Nah, he did his job. That's what he did.
I was about to say, he did what he was supposed to do.
He did his job.
Had them up there looking like wiffle ball. Man.
Fuck them, man. Words, man. I don't want to talk. Yo, fast forward.
Next topic, man. Enough of baseball. Baseball.
NFL Week 5. How y'all depressingly switch topics?
Cause, son.
Your boy struck out.
Of course he did, son. He ate
Did he at least swing?
He swung.
I don't care what he did. He swung with his eyes closed.
It's like Eli throwing with his eyes closed, but I ain't gonna say.
Strike one looking, strike two swinging.
Oh boy, what you put that on for?
Watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth.
Come on, NFL recap.
Watch your mouth.
What that on for?
Cause it's wartime.
Go ahead and start. I'm gonna let you start it.
Thursday,
NFL
baby.
recap. What you got for
Thursday? Ain't nothing changed. The whole East Lords. We gonna beat the Eagles, and we gonna jump in a tie for first place. That's what's gonna happen.
Sheesh, y'all gonna go that hard?
What you mean? Everybody the same record. Wait a minute.
This is trash.
Wait a minute. How do? Oh yeah. The Redskins 2-2. But how does that make sense? They had a bye already.
Who?
Everybody else is 2-4. Oh no. All right, I'm bugging. The Giants is 1-4.
Yes.
Washington and the Eagles is 2-3.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Washington is 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, so they're gonna be 2-3. Dallas and Eagles gonna be 2-4, and the Giants gonna be 2-4. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Oh,
yo, we got Jake.
Everybody gonna lose except for the Giants.
But I'm not talking about Giants with y'all. Definitely not talking with him. It's not happening at all.
you see my face. Hashtag losing.
Talking about that. So
hashtag
losing.
Yo, man,
got the boo.
Kansas City Chiefs, man. Oh, yo, that game gonna be so crazy. Chiefs versus the Rams. Oh, that game gonna be crazy. I wish they wasn't playing in Mexico though. Oh, why? What are they doing, man?
They didn't know that was gonna be the.
I don't like when they take away home games for people though. Saying who's going Mexico?
But listen, man, the sports leagues are trying to avoid their rising. You got basketball in London, football in Mexico, and across the pond. That's what they do. You know.
Nobody cares. The altitude is all wild. They're gonna be mad winded. It's good. Come on.
You know the altitude wild in Mexico where they playing at, bro. What's with that?
This ain't the first year.
I wasn't winded when I was in Mexico.
Well, I was straight.
And I was cooking in pool volleyball. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I was MVP.
Yo, man, give your week 5 NFL recap, man.
My NFL recap is the 49ers is trash.
Yes.
Nah,
So you just gonna throw shots at me, but tell me we can't talk about them bum ass.
I didn't say y'all can't. I said I'm not talking to y'all about the Giants. It's not a debate. I'm not talking to y'all about them. So I don't know about them Rams, man. I don't know about that defense, man. That defense looking kind of shaky. Back-to-back weeks, that defense looking kind of shaky, man. I think Kansas City's better than the Rams.
Injuries.
Yo, next man up. It's football.
Next man up ain't playing as good as the man that just went out. It's football, yeah, but no.
They ain't lose that defensive line.
That defensive line was looking pretty good last week.
I don't know about pretty good.
Aaron Donald was cooking the entire time.
He was, yeah. But how many points they gave up? Like 30. They gave up 30 points.
Check the stats. Hold on.
They gave up 30 points to the Seahawks.
Somebody check the stat.
You check them.
Again, I told you, though. Remember, what was it, week 2 I said it?
It could be a competitive game. That don't mean you give up 30 points.
Teams matter this season a lot more.
But that don't mean you give up 30 points. It could have been a close game because they know each other. That's fine. 30, though?
Dog.
Yo, name 2 of the Seahawks wide receivers.
Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett.
Ooh, that nigga quick with the trigger.
Yo, you supposed to be checking the stats, son.
On what, sir?
I know that by heart, though. Again, they in my division.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you a fan of them.
It was 33-31. Again, divisional game, though.
Nah, son, that's too many points. I don't care.
Oh, my gosh.
Divisional game mean you just play them close. It don't mean you give up 30 points.
That means you see them way too much. You know what the tendencies are.
And then how much they gave up last week?
The week before, I'm pulling it up now. Hold on.
But that was another barn burner. High scoring game. Yeah, I ain't cracked.
It was 38-31.
Yeah, son, that's a lot of points, man. That's a lot of points, man. They ain't supposed to be giving up 30 points.
4-2 bases loaded. Update alert. 4-2 bases loaded. Yankees just lost.
That was a punch in case y'all didn't realize.
That's a heartbreaker. But
yeah, we was talking about football, man.
Yeah, week 5 recap.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. The mood is killed.
Yeah, it's depressing moment now. So if it seems like the tension is off in the chat, in the pod, we apologize, folks. You know, heartbroken Yankees fans now. But week 5 recap. Let's get right to it, man. I think the Jags still solidified themselves as a top 10 team, even though they lost. I think Jalen Ramsey definitely backed up his trash talking, holding Tyreek Hill to only 60 yards. He was definitely tired, and he definitely stayed with him. But I think this was the first time we can honestly say Jalen Ramsey checked the shifty receiver.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No. First time he's like checked the shifty receiver and was successful. Like we've talked about this before where it's like he plays better against bigger wide receivers, but against shifty wide receivers like Odell and those wide receivers that can really move, like Antonio Brown, he doesn't really have much success. I think he really stepped up this week, but the big story was
that he proved Tyreek Hill's a good punt returner.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna route run you to death. He's just gonna outrun you.
Yeah. But definitely Blake Bortles being Blake Bortles. Yeah.
Back to that again?
Absolutely. Because that Kansas City defense is trash, and Blake Bortles had them looking like they were the number 1 defense in the league. Like
we're gonna see. We're gonna see how trash they are very soon.
You see it every week.
Nah, we're gonna see. That Rams offense.
That defense is not
we're gonna see.
Every week. That Chiefs offense gives up numbers.
What's the number that they gotta hold the Rams to for you to say, all right, maybe they're not trash? If they hold them to 20.
No, I think 20 is
if they hold the Rams to 20, you still gonna say they trash?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't think holding them to 20 is saying like
because if it's like
it's gonna erase 4 weeks of bad defense.
Yeah,
because
it has to be holding them to 20 and like shutting them down, like locking them up. Like the turnovers that they got this game against Blake Bortles, it was literally Blake Bortles being bad. Like he threw a pick 6 to a defensive tackle on a screen. How, Sway?
How you do that, Sway?
I don't know about trash, man.
Pop ain't got the answer, Sway.
I think trash is a strong word. I don't know about
trash is a strong word? Hold on, I can tell. I'll make sure we cover that. Hold on.
But
they gave up 23 to Denver's offense.
Okay.
Remember, you asked who's Denver's quarterback?
Right. No, I asked y'all. I knew who it was.
I know, but I'm saying again, you asked that, and because they were trash. Their offense was questionable.
Yeah. All right. Now, if they hold the Rams to the 20, if they score 21 and under, I can't call their defense trash.
They gave up 28 to the Chargers.
Chargers is a good offense.
Chargers normally starts off very slow, though. Normally they start off slow.
They ain't win.
They gave up 28, though.
That's all right.
They ain't win because they got outscored.
Yeah. That's all right.
They gave up 37 to Pittsburgh.
That's not like a bad thing, though.
37.
Listen.
That's not a bad thing. Pittsburgh dropped 37.
Have you seen what Pittsburgh's been doing the rest of the season?
All right. But Pittsburgh it's not wild to say Pittsburgh scored 37 points. It ain't like they don't have the weapons. They have the weapons to score 37.
They gave up 27 to the 49ers.
Yo, listen, Pop, you're not gonna win that argument, son.
The only argument I said was if they hold the Rams into the
but that's one game. That can't erase 4 weeks of bad defense. Like
5 weeks of bad defense. 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Every game it's been over 20-something points. Every single game.
Yeah, they have one of the bottom defenses in the NFL right now. It's just the play of Patrick Mahomes in that offense.
I don't think it's trash though.
Literally, Jacksonville is the only team that they've held to below 20. And again, that had nothing to do with their defense and more to do with Blake Bortles.
Man, you can't say that, man. Blake Bortles just killed Blake Bortles. He hasn't been having a good season prior to that week.
He had one good game. One good game.
Oh, it wasn't just one.
One good game. Tell me the other good game he had.
He hasn't been having bad games, is what I'm saying.
Y'all two is in rare form, boy.
I can check.
I should let y'all had another solo week so I can go at it.
Nah, he hasn't been having bad games.
Which game you want to look at? I got you. Let me know.
Check the stats, baby. Check the stats.
Nah, let's keep moving forward. We don't gotta check the stats about that.
Oh, okay. That sounded egregious.
What? That he hasn't been having a
good year. He had one good game, one major good game, where everybody was.
Is he having a bad year? Is he having a bad year?
Is he having a Blake Bortles year? Yes.
Wait, you said the Tom Brady game was the only good game?
I said where everybody was saying he was playing Tom Brady-esque.
What game was that?
I think that was against them.
Ooh, excuse me.
You gonna go on?
So
he checking stats.
Yeah.
I removed it.
He trying to get the ball.
I ain't even gonna do it. I ain't even gonna do it. But yeah, power rankings have changed. I think, again, as I stated before, divisional games definitely matter, and that's big this year. I feel like that's major, and this year it's showing a lot more. I'm finally able to say that I sort of believe in the Bengals. Sort of. I just hate their coach. So it's very hard. And I know when playoffs come, they're going to buckle. But right now, I do believe in them a little bit. They got a very good all-around team. And I feel like Joe Mixon is definitely making a statement like he's the real deal at running back, personally. Giants are trash. 49ers are trash. So Hef, like we agreed, is a push. Bets off.
Oh, y'all canceled the bet?
Yeah, we canceled that.
They canceled it.
I feel like we both need to start praying for a worse schedule. Who can get the best picks so we can trade for more picks? Type of
This tag lose them all. Gotta lose them all.
But that's my week 5 recap. Todd Gurley's a man, and I'm gonna be picking him in FanDuel for like the next 3 weeks.
Hey, Chips.
Let me get my
let me get ready for
5
this Homer talk.
Rant out. When I tell you, the Yankees just lost. I'm not even upset about that. You know, it's like it is what it is. We got 27 chips under our belt. I don't care. All right, fine. But
we got 4 Super Bowls.
I don't care. That 63-yard field goal. Like, what do my Giants have to do to win a game? You know, we played a decent game. We held Cam Newton in check for most of the game. We forced some turnovers. Eli threw a couple of picks, but we was right back.
Threw a couple touchdowns too.
Yeah, he did.
Don't leave that part out.
I said we fought back, brother. You ain't even let me finish. You always want to defend Eli. I'm
not defending him. I'm saying both sides.
But that's what I was getting ready to do. Yo, what's wrong with you today, man? You arguing with Yittity? You arguing with me?
I'm arguing by saying he got 2 TDs. That's arguing.
Arguing, huh?
That's arguing by saying state the fact that he got 2 touchdowns.
No, you were being defensive of Eli.
Okay, so it's not an argument.
Nowhere near to place blame on Eli.
All right.
Eli played a good game. You know what I mean? My man Pat Shermer mixed it up. Had my man Odell throwing touchdowns to Saquon. That was pretty, by the way. Finally, they digging deep into the playbook. And a 63 was actually truly a 69-yard field goal, I believe, they said.
What?
They said it was 63, but in actuality, it was 69.
It could have been because he had room to spare.
Yeah.
Because he definitely had all leg for that pause.
So, that was like I was really, driving from watching that game. I was really hurt. Like my soul was crushed. Yeah. Yep. Hashtag lose them more. I don't care what Pop talking about. That goes into my other part of Week 5 recap. The whole NFC East is, I don't know what's going on with them. It's sad to say that Pop is right. We still do have a chance. Do I think we're going to pull it out? No, I don't think we're going to pull it out. I think the Eagles are going to get better. I think Dallas is going to figure out how to win a couple of games. And everybody else is trash. Redskins trash. We trash. We really don't have no hope. But you keep hope alive, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to salute you, but I'm hoping that we lose them more. Like my man Chris said, let's see who get the best pick. We got a whole lot of holes to fix still, like you said in the beginning of the year, which is why you wanted to trade down from that number 2 pick. The whole NFC is just, I don't know, like, it seems like every year consistently, that's the one division that beats each other up and can't perform anywhere else outside of the division. Outside of Philly getting that Super Bowl last year. And some people argue that, it's because we're really, they're really good teams. They can play against the best and they just beat. No, because we beat up against each other because we know each other so well. But we step outside of that division and it's just L's left and right. Like, I don't understand it. And the Giants lately have not been able to get over the hump and beat an NFC East team. But that's a whole nother story. The other part of my week 5 recap is the Patriots starting to look like the Patriots. They're starting to get some chemistry going. Your boy Josh Gordon got a touchdown last game. So he's looking like he's getting more comfortable with the offense. And That's kind of sad for the Miami Dolphins. They thought they had something going, but I guess not. Back to reality, huh? Back to reality, huh?
Yep. It was never out of reality.
Divisional game.
It was never out of reality.
Divisional game.
Y'all
gonna stop ignoring my greatness, okay? Y'all gonna stop ignoring.
Listen, brother. Listen.
I be predicting this left and right. Y'all just be missing, you know.
Okay, all right. I hear you. Shout out to Drew Brees, man. Broke the NFL all-time passing yardage this Monday night.
No, tell me that shit ain't look fake, son.
Look fixed?
Fake. The one when he threw the touchdown pass. When he broke the record.
Yeah.
That Matador defense, son.
Yo. It
looked worse than when Strahan got the sack on Brett Favre. It looked worse than that.
I know somebody in here was calling for a penalty for excessive celebration.
Word. Hell yeah. He was out there partying, son. They had Mardi Gras in the middle of the game, son.
All they was missing was the Super Bowl confetti.
Word. And some beads.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Drew Brees has one Super Bowl, correct?
Right.
One.
Right. So, does he have to? There's a question I'm gonna ask y'all. Does he have to win at least one more Super Bowl to be up there with the greats?
No.
Where would you put him?
You asking me?
I'm asking Pop. Who would you put him above?
I don't know who I would put him above, but I don't think I can name.
No, I'm not saying above this one or that one.
I don't think I can name 10 quarterbacks better than him.
Oh, top 10, definitely. I thought we was talking 5, but 10 definitely. I definitely give him top 10.
I said top 5.
I don't know. I don't know.
Close to top 5.
Yeah, he's close to top 5. He's close to top 5. If you top 10, you close to top 5. There's an argument. There's an argument there. So
I mean, he's definitely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, hands down.
That's it. That's hands down. That's hands down.
Crazy accurate, all kind of yards, all kind of touchdowns. No, because I hate. First of all, I hate that anyway. Like it's like you probably could maybe once or twice. I don't know where somebody carries the team. The quarterback carries the team. It's always more than just the quarterback.
Personally, I feel like it's not the team, it's the coach. Because when he was on the Chargers, he was trash to me. Like, I felt like he was horrible when he was on the Chargers. Granted, he had a lot of injuries, but he wasn't doing what he was doing with New Orleans on the Chargers when he was first drafted. Obviously, you know what I mean, as progression comes.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's younger. Yeah, the injuries.
Yeah, but I feel like Sean Payton is like the best thing that's happened to him ever. And vice versa. You know, don't get it twisted. Definitely vice versa. Like him and Sean Payton to me is like the way Bill Belichick and Tom Brady feed off of each other, like with their success. Like they couldn't have did it without the other, basically.
So you think that he doesn't have to win another Super Bowl?
No. For what? His legacy is safe.
I'm talking E3.
I don't feel like even if he does win another one, it's going to change him to the next level for, like, as far as, like, move him up. I agree with Pop. I feel like his legacy is set, but I don't think him winning another one is going to change his place.
You know what would change his place? If he did a John Elway at the end of the year, won back-to-back joints, retire off the second one. Like, that would be on some, like, all right, damn, shit kind of crazy. But other than that, nah.
Nah, because fuck John Elway. John Elway did it off of the back of Terrell Davis. John Elway doesn't deserve any of the credit.
You are such a John Elway hater.
Crazy. I ain't going to get back on that.
Terrell Davis, before them 2 years that Terrell Davis literally
I'm not listen, man, I'm not debating you, but you are quick to kill that man is all I'm saying.
I feel like he's overrated.
Okay.
I feel like he's over. Just like I feel like Joe Namath is overrated, and I feel like Terry Bradshaw is overrated.
All right, easy cowboy.
What I take from that Saints game is what I say when they played the Giants. they playing a different style of football, man. They ran a lot last year, but it still was like they would end up passing heavy. But I don't know. I feel like they was right there last year. They was right there to the Super Bowl.
If they didn't lose off that last play to the Vikings, I feel like it's safe to say they would have won it all.
So it's like
definitely an option.
But yo, so the go from being a homer to speaking about something real, right? So the reason why I'm like, oh man, the Giants got a shot, blah 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 blah. Forget the NFC East. The NFC is only like 4 teams with winning records. It's mad teams that's 2-3, 1-4, 2-2. Like it's not like everybody's running away from
nobody is running away.
It's the Rams, the Saints, and that's it. So it's not for anybody. Forget the Giants. For anybody, nobody's out of it right now unless you're 0-5. No, I'm not. I'm saying statistically, nobody's out of it.
Giants would have to win the NFC East. I don't feel like they would make a wild card. You got Bears at 3-1, New Orleans 4-1, Panthers 3-1, Rams 5-0. So right now, Panthers got one.
Pop is a natural.
I said it's not just the Giants. I said that from the beginning.
No. I'm just saying, period, out of the East. Like literally, I wouldn't see a wild card coming out of the East because you also got.
I'm not just saying the East. I'm just saying nobody, like the NFC is looking wide open.
I got you. Okay, I got you.
I think the Rams are the better team right now, but I think the Saints probably could beat them. But we about to get into like the second part of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if you see another team emerge, for whoever that might be.
Won't be the Giants, but okay.
I don't know when you're gonna realize I ain't talking to you about them.
Anyway, let me finish my
your recap.
And the AFC is just as bad, by the way, with winning records.
And I think that's a byproduct of just all the offense going on, and it's no defense in the NFL right now.
Oh, it's defense. Like, it's just penalties for defense. You play defense, you get a penalty.
I think it's just how many times can you score, and that's nobody is stepping up and just locking people down like that. So I think that's a byproduct of that. Let me jump right into my power rankings.
Hold on, let Pop go.
Pop go what?
I started it off.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Yeah, he did his recap. Right. Let me go get into my power rankings. Let me finish off my NFL week 5 recap. For my bottom 5, I got number 32, the 49ers. Bringing up the red.
You're so disrespectful.
31, I got Arizona. Only because they beat the 49ers for their first victory. Number 30, I got the Raiders. 29, I got my Giants. And 28, I have Buffalo and Denver tying. My top 5, I got the Rams, Chiefs, Saints, Carolina, and then, like he was saying, the Bengals, bringing in number 5. I think the Bengals are surprising a lot of people, like my man said. I think they are one of the most complete and talented teams in the NFL. Joe Mixon is doing his thing, even coming off that injury. But even when he went down, Gio Bernard stepped right in and did his thing. They can kill you in many ways. Like you said, they've been good in the regular season before. It's about, can Marvin Lewis win a playoff game? That's going to be their real test. But for right now, they snuck into my top 5.
Okay. Pop?
All right, so I got Mainly because of injury. I got the 49ers as the worst team. Only because they lost to the Cardinals. And they lost to the Cardinals because of injury. It's not like they're really the worst team, but we gotta do it. We gotta do it week by week.
Gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
Yeah,
Put them down there.
Week by week. I got the Cardinals only because they beat the 49ers. And honestly, you know what? Let me switch it up on the fly. The worst team is the Raiders. Again, they don't have no major injuries. Their team is intact. They should not be 1-4. So they the worst team. Then the 49ers. Then the Cardinals. And then the Bills. No, the Colts. And then the Bills. What? I don't know what's up with the Colts, man. I don't think they should be 1-4 neither.
You got them worse than the Giants?
The Colts, yeah, I do.
That's why I'm making that face.
Yeah. Wait. All right. So why are the Colts better than the Giants?
Oh man.
How many close games have the Colts had that they've lost close ones, rather than
close games?
Have the Giants just weren't in at all.
The Giants wasn't in one game.
The Colts were in every game that they've played so far until the end. Like that Patriots game, they were in that until the end, and it was turnovers, and then they had like defensive touchdowns.
Nah.
The final score looked a lot worse than what the game was.
I feel like the Colts game, the Colts and Patriots, they came along later. Like early on, it wasn't a game.
Most of the Colts games, they come back in the second half. In the third quarter, they're like a third quarter team where they bring it back to where it's a real battle, and then they lose it in the end. The Colts games, for the most part. Most of the time, the Giants is playing catch up from go.
Nah, that's not true.
Which games have they lost after leading?
But I catch up meaning when I hear catch up, I'm thinking like they losing by like 14-21. They don't.
No, I didn't mean like getting smacked. I just meant like they're playing from behind, basically from go. You know what I mean? From kickoff.
I think we took the lead against the Panthers.
We did.
Yeah.
At the end, but y'all were playing from behind majority.
Nah, I'm talking about early on.
No, not early on.
Not like in the third quarter we didn't take the lead.
The Barkley touchdown gave us the lead.
Okay.
And that was in the fourth, wasn't it?
That was at the end.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's cool though.
The top five ain't really changed. It's just reordered pretty much. So the Rams, Kansas City. I got the Saints at 3. I got Cincinnati at 4. And I think last week I had the Bears outside. I still got them outside, man. I got the Panthers. I would like to see them play. Do they play this season?
They see. I don't know if they play.
I think that'd be a really good game, Panthers and Bears. And yeah, I got the Bears at 6. So I got Rams, Kansas City, Saints, Cincinnati, Panthers. I think I didn't change nothing from last week. Actually, I might have moved the Saints up.
I think you moved the Saints up. I think you had the Saints at 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think you had the Bengals at 5, maybe something like that. It was something like that.
Yeah, it's probably.
Matter of fact, yeah, because you still had the Jags in your top 3.
Yeah, Jag. I'm starting to believe less in them, honestly.
At Blake,
they out of my top 5, man.
I got the Patriots over them. I got a couple teams over them.
So my bottom is Pop said it. I feel like the Raiders are definitely the worst team in the league because they have everybody that they had, and they basically handicapped themselves. Point blank and simple. Once they got rid of Mac, so it's Raiders, Cardinals. I don't care if they won against my team; they're trash. It was a divisional game, and they're trash. So it's Raiders, Cardinals, Colts, Giants, and then the 49ers.
Sir. Why do you have your 49ers?
We in the bottom 5.
No, nah.
That man didn't even put the Giants in the bottom.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, bro. We're not going to do that, bro.
Nah. All right. So my validation for my team not being 5th worst and being better than those others is, again, like what Pop said, due to injury. My team would be way better if it weren't for injury. And then even with the injury, CJ Beathard is playing a lot better than even I can admit I felt like he would.
Yeah, I don't know what their record would be, but I don't think they would be a bottom 5.
If they had players or if they don't have players.
Right, that's why they in there.
That's why exactly. I didn't be a homer and be like, nope, they're not in the
So I'm asking you right now. I'm down on my Giants right now. Pop is more up than I am. Do you honestly think your 49ers can beat my Giants right now?
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let me go back. Go ahead and watch. Go ahead, finish what you were saying, man.
Yeah, I mean, you could explain that to me, please. You do realize we got a pretty good pass rush. I'm gonna leave that at that.
I'm not worried about it. Y'all are not beating us if we went head to head right now.
Too bad we don't play.
Yeah, for y'all. Too bad for y'all.
You said y'all got how many, and we got how many? You said what? I'm saying, I just keep spinning, just keep spinning. But yeah, so that's my bottom. My top 5 is definitely changed. Top 2 are the same.
I bet it did. I bet it did.
It was at the moment, all right? Damn, judgmental. It's Rams, Chiefs. Saints have moved up to 3 because they're looking like a complete team. And like Pop mentioned, they're winning differently. You know what I mean? And even with them winning differently, I don't feel like anybody can say that you don't think Drew Brees is not going to pass for 5,000 yards this season. Again, even with them running the ball more and having explosive running backs, I still feel like Drew Brees is about to have a 5,000-yard season again. Like,
it's just so easy with that offense. It's like they can do whatever they want to do.
The way that they can move Mike Thomas around where he can be a slot guy. And then with his height, normally you would think with how big of a wide receiver he is, he's on the island and he needs to be out there, out in the open. But with him being able to be moved and them utilizing, like, who'd have thought Ted Ginn would be doing what he's doing this many years after leaving Carolina? Like, he's still having very good seasons and effective seasons. So they're definitely 3. I feel like they can be much better once their defense figures it out and stops giving up so many penalties. The Bengals are 4 because I feel like they've started real fast. Normally you don't see that from the Bengals to me. Normally they have pretty good games and pretty competitive games, but they're not like they'll find a way to lose those games. This season, I feel like they've been winning a lot more. Not as many stupid penalties from like Vontaze Burfict for late hits or helmet-to-helmet hits where just like, last season when he got suspended, so it's like they're a little bit more under control this season to me. And my 5 is the Patriots. Jags is definitely, like I said, out of the top 5. Again, I felt like it's the Blake Bortles effect. When you factor in them losing to the Titans on only having 6 points, losing 6-9 to the Titans, and then, this loss, yeah, I can't do it with the Jags. Panthers, I don't feel like the level of competition that the Panthers have been winning against, has them in that top 5 category yet. They've done what they're supposed to do against lesser teams, but not yet. I don't feel like they got to be consistent with their run game outside of Cam Newton for me. But yeah, that's my power rankings.
Who we got as early MVP?
Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, he only got 2 picks, so unfortunately, yeah. But
damn, why unfortunate?
I say unfortunately because of my prediction, and I feel like it's a landslide. But remember, I said
we did MVP predictions.
Yeah. We did. That was the first. That was first episode, I believe. Yeah.
Nah, I think we just did breakout
We
players.
didn't do we didn't do MVP.
Well, I remember we had this conversation. I said a running back is going to win the MVP.
Oh yeah, no, you did say that.
And I said either Kamara or Gurley.
But it wasn't like really a topic though. But
it might have just been me saying the breakout. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, I feel like Kamara is right there.
Yeah, I guess it's Mahomes. I'm trying to think of somebody else, but Breeze, maybe Breeze. Breeze will be up there right now.
Yeah, that ain't nobody showing out like that boy Mahomes right now.
I ain't gonna ask about as much as we all say Mahomes. It's Khalil Mack on defense too.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I mean, it's gonna be 3 for him if he continues to play his way.
Yo, it's gonna be straight up again. He gonna get selected for Pro Bowl for which position? Linebacker or defensive end? Or both again.
Yeah, I don't know what they was thinking, boy.
What about offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year predictions?
Saquon. Who else is doing anything? Offensive rookie.
You got Saquon.
Oh no.
Oh. I
feel like
I say it's probably between Saquon and
I don't think none of the quarterbacks is standing out like that.
Not yet, no. None of the quarterbacks yet.
Ridley had a couple good games.
I was gonna say Ridley might be a close second.
Yeah, he let me down.
One good game.
He let me down.
But it's too much. His passing, catching, running, he's too much.
Defensive, everybody talking about Derwin James. Denzel Ward is the real deal.
Yeah, he's balling.
He is definitely my selection for defensive rookie of the year, hands down. Like, he is balling.
Damn, yo, we about to be a week 6 already. Shit.
It's going by quick. It's definitely going by quick.
NBA right around the corner.
It's because we enjoying it, though. It's because it's been good games outside of, obviously, our independent teams. But
they still been good games. Well, I haven't been watching the 49ers games, but the Giants games have been entertaining. It's just heartbreaking.
Ever since my quarterbacks let me know that they don't know how to go out of bounds or slide, I stopped. Every week, somebody is hurt on the 49ers. Like, literally, Breda got hurt last week, came back this week, got hurt again in the game.
Who came in for him?
We got Alfred Morris and we got Breda.
Oh, yeah.
Because McKinnon is hurt for the whole year. Our best offensive weapon is Kittle, our tight end.
Mm-hmm. I had him on FanDuel.
I did too.
How many points he gave you?
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough. Maybe.
Not enough.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to look it right now.
Our offensive line is shaky. Our wide receivers are horrible. Remember last year I said we needed to go wide receiver some point, off season or what?
10 points. But he was like a touchdown away from. He had 5 receptions, 83 yards. So
he had a good game.
Yeah, touchdown to put him over the top.
But you know what it is? As a team, we don't got enough ethnicity in our skill position. Our best offensive weapons.
That's racist.
I mean that in the most sincere.
Oh, word. Oh, that's sincere.
Non-attacking.
Clean that up, please, sir. We try to
mean that in the most kind way I can say.
Clean that up.
Yeah, we need some ads.
Okay, like literally.
He said we need some.
I said it as nice as I could. We need something. Like our wide receivers, like our best wide receiver going into it was what? Dante Pettis? I think he might have been like mixed. I don't know.
I know y'all seen the fight, man.
Definitely did watch the fight. I don't know. This dude took a commercial break.
The whole card was good, though.
Yo, those undercards were real.
I can't. That was my first time ever seeing a full MMA card. I'm a boxing fan. That doesn't mean I don't like MMA. It's just I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the guys that's
The
coming
fighters,
up and all that. But man, that card was entertaining as hell. Jeez.
From first fight to the last, definitely was very entertaining.
So I got a question about the fight. Speaking about the fight, like I don't know how big of MMA fans you guys are. I'm more boxing. I can't even tell you if I watched one whole MMA card before.
This was the one to watch.
I definitely missed it, but I caught the highlights and the whole brawl and the Khabib thing. I ain't know dude was Russian. That's the crazy thing to me.
So he's not Russian descent though,
but Muslim.
He's Pakistani descent.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just lives in Russia.
So, to me, basically, from the research that I did, it seemed like he did what he said he was going to do, and I just think Conor McGregor is a fraud. He let the fame get to him. He let the money get to him. And he doesn't care about doing what he does. He doesn't care about being an MMA superstar. He's out for the money. After getting that fight with Floyd and all the fur coats and limousines and, you got your crew. You out here wilding like you a thug, throwing shit at buses and whatnot. Like, he's a clown. He's a clown. He got what he deserved. The boy, what is it, Khabib?
Yeah.
Khabib did what he wanted to do. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna teach you to respect me, and you're not about this MMA life no more, and I'm gonna show you that." And he beat the bricks off him. Like he put it down. Like literally from all the highlights I saw, and I Pop shared the link of the fight, so I watched most of the fight.
Legal. It was a legal link. Legal.
Yeah, it was legal.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But he was doing what he wanted to do, and it kind of embarrassed McGregor. I don't know what happened with the boy. I still wasn't able to see that whole thing because I think the other legal link that you posted didn't work.
That's sad. All my legal links work, man.
It might have been your browser at the time.
Word.
But I don't know what happened. I don't know what led up to that, or how that happened. But so maybe y'all could fill us in on that. But I just think Conor McGregor is a fraud. Just like what's the
why are you a fraud though?
Huh?
Why are you a fraud? A fraud?
Because he's not.
That's kind of strong.
Because he's not that good. Because I think he was the
Adrian Broner.
Huh?
Adrian Broner.
I don't want to say Adrian Broner because he was better than Adrian Broner.
Okay.
Right? So you know how I feel about Adrian Broner. He's the biggest fraud of them all. He's just a showman. But I think Conor McGregor once was good. But he let the fame and the money and the power that he got from fighting Floyd get to his head to where he's not in it like he used to be.
So why take this fight then?
Because he wanted to prove like he was still in it.
That's kind of contradictory then. Because if I'm not into it, I don't need to prove that I'm into it.
I could take a sucker fight over that.
Yeah.
But see, his pride and his persona won't let him do that. He wants to be like, yeah, I'm the money maker, and I can still fight the best of the best. Yeah, so I think that's his persona. Like, it won't his pride. He's saying, yo, I'm still the money man. I'm still the money maker for MMA.
Which he is.
But I can still fight the biggest fight. And clearly, he didn't take this fight as serious as he should because he got mayhem.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree also. Styles make fights. Like, it's no different. And this probably wasn't the best style fight for him to pick. Like, if you're not into it, this is not the guy that you get in the ring with. Cause
that's a guaranteed loss.
Yeah, like the dude is undefeated. He beat other names. It's not like he beat a bunch of nobodies. He's legit. There's a reason why this is the biggest fight, because he was legit. He is legit. And Conor isn't a fraud. It's just he's not the ground tactic guy. He never been that guy. He's never been that guy. And that's
But that's part of MMA. Like, you can't. They don't only match up ground with ground. Like, you gotta be able to impose your will.
Exactly, and that's what made the fight though. Who's going to impose their will? Which style is going to win? This guy is just that good. like if you take the fans out of it. If you looked at any of the people who were like analysts, like that's what they do, none of them picked Conor to win. Like, nobody is surprised at this. Nobody was surprised at this. So I just think he's just not good enough to beat him. I don't know. Maybe in a rematch, maybe he could do some more research. And because the same thing happened with Diaz. Diaz made him tap out. Part 2, he came and he knocked him out. Maybe that could happen again. I don't know. But so from my knowledge, it goes back before the whole bus thing. I think from what I read, it said that somebody from Khabib's side slapped somebody from Conor's side.
It was a little bit more to it than that. It was on some it was like multiple dudes from Khabib's side.
Yeah, it was like 30 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, one dude slapped the dude from Conor's team, but it was almost basically like, yo, if you do something, you're gonna get jumped.
Yeah, it was like 30-1, like legit 30-1.
And it's not like get jumped by regular dudes that don't know how to fight. You about to get jumped by dudes that know how to fight for real.
So like, I think they was he wanted to fight Conor. No. It was a dude that Conor fought that Khabib was supposed to fight. And Conor, being a bigger person, stepped in and was like, no, I'm fighting him. And Khabib got pushed to the undercard of that fight when he was supposed to fight that dude.
Yeah.
And like, that was like the start of their bad blood. And then...
So they was on the same team?
No.
On the team?
So let's say me and you were supposed to fight.
Uh-huh.
Chris is the star of our sport.
Uh-huh.
Chris go, nah, forget Pop. Me and you fighting, Chips. Yo, Pop, if you still want to fight, you're going to be on our undercard. Like that.
He basically got sunned.
So Conor pulled the power move.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then the slap happened. And then when the slap happened, that's when Conor ran down on him in Brooklyn and threw the dolly and all
then
that.
The bus happened.
Yeah. So all of that just built the bad blood. And then Conor was like, your pops is a terrorist on 9/11. They found fake passports in the car. It was getting personal. So you know what it made me think of? The documentaries with Frazier and Ali. How Ali was saying a lot of reckless things just to sell a fight and to get into his head. And Frazier wasn't like, yeah, we saying this to sell a fight. Nah, Frazier was getting tight.
Personal.
Yeah.
He was tight.
Yeah, like, nah, we don't need to say certain things to sell a fight.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with that. Like, it's one thing to be like, yo, your pops is ugly and I'm gonna fuck your wife, and so you call me a terrorist? And you say my pops is connected to 9/11?
You call me a terrorist, trumpet off, and you violent?
What you saying? Like, that's crazy, son.
He good. He's citizenship in Russia. He's good.
So it's like,
Boy, they connected, right?
yo, did you see the videos of the audio of them in the octagon?
Yeah, when he was like, it was just business.
Yo, he copping pleas in the octagon, son.
Who
Conor. He like, yo, it was all business. Like, nah.
Boy, man, I'm telling you, man. Show me.
And I didn't even know Khabib spit on him, or he spit at him.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
After he choked him out.
Son. What more? That's why I'm like, yo, as long as you willing to accept the consequences, then man, go ahead, jump out the ring, jump in the ring.
I heard you lost some money.
Yo, I bet
you get paid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get paid.
No, I heard $10 million so far is what he's getting paid.
No, Khabib still. Well, basically that night Khabib never got his check.
Yeah, the Nevada
on site after the fight.
Nevada commission was holding it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he get an extra bag from somebody that he shouldn't be getting an extra bag from for holding it down.
My man Putin was like, let's go.
Nah, not Putin. I was thinking of somebody else, but I ain't gonna say it.
I ain't even gonna get you in trouble.
Well, I ain't doing it. Mm-mm.
He said he about to get emails from Lottie Daddy.
Word. That's a fact.
So yeah, I definitely like with what you were saying, Chips, I definitely wouldn't say fraud. I feel like that's a bit harsh. What I would say is one trick pony. And unfortunately with MMA, you gotta be at least able to maneuver in these other sort of, parts of the fight. You know what I mean?
You better be amazing at that one thing. Which
we can say for an MMA fighter, Conor is with striking. Like Conor is a full-fledged striker. Like hands down, that's what he does. But when it comes to MMA, like you have to be able to at least be decent at ground and pound or maneuvering through the jiu-jitsu side of it. You have to be able to. And we're thinking of we're watching this fight with Conor, it really brought me back to Ronda Rousey. She was a one-trick pony. Straight arm bar. Whatever she did, it went to the arm bar and she made you tap. Once they figured out how to, all right, I'm just not going to get on the ground. I'm going to punch in the face.
She kicked her into wrestling.
Once she fought Holly Holm, it was over. And it was okay, Holly Holm provided every other female with the blueprint on how to beat her.
She kicked her into WWF.
Who she fight after Holly Holm? Cyborg?
Yeah, Cyborg.
I think it was Cyborg. And Cyborg was like Tung Po and Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's like, don't do it. Like it was ugly. But
that's my problem with MMA, and that's probably why I'm not into it. I think because it's such a real sport, right? And I think Dana White has turned it into a spectacle more. I get what you're saying. Yep. More towards WWE style. You know what I mean? Like, they lift up these fighters that can just be the show, can be, The Rock, or could be Stone Cold Steve Austin, or, you know what I mean? It's more towards that, like where you're not letting the art best be the best, you know what I'm saying, and be the face of your sport. You rather get, this is just my opinion, but a clown like Conor McGregor.
But it's still a business, man. They just sold.
I understand
it's entertainment.
He just sold UFC to somebody for some bread.
No, listen, I'm not saying it's not entertaining. I'm just saying for my taste, I don't like that part of it.
Not entertaining. It's entertainment. Like, even if you go to, if you go to boxing, like use boxing as an example, outside of the flashy boxers, like you didn't see much about Guillermo Rigondeaux. you very rarely saw fights with him on mainstream. But technical wise,
no,
you can say that Rigondeaux was a very good technical
no. But
fighter.
listen, but listen, boxing has a very wide range, right? With a whole lot of weight classes and here and there. So it's plenty of boxing. Even though I'm into boxing now, I don't know much about all the boxing that's out there, right? You know what I mean?
MMA has the same weight class. Like MMA has weight classes too.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they are so far removed from even touching it. Because like you can say a boxer like you just said, Rigondeaux, right? You can't name somebody like that in MMA.
Because we're not into it though.
But that's what I'm saying. But even if
you can, Chuck Liddell was basically a Rigondeaux type of dude. He wasn't a big.
No, Chuck Liddell was
flashy. Chuck Liddell was not flashy. He was technical.
No, I didn't say flashy, but he was one of their showcase
Chuck
fighters.
Liddell was not out there like how you would say Conor McGregor is as far as the entertainment.
No, not as Conor McGregor.
I mean, honestly, Khabib wasn't out there like that.
Yeah, he's not out there like Conor McGregor, right? So Khabib didn't make that fight unless you're a hardcore MMA fighter. I mean, fan. Conor McGregor made that fight.
Yeah.
He made the fight.
You know what I'm saying?
That's just the same as looking at a Mexican boxer compared to somebody else. It's gonna get more money based on who that fighter is.
No. The difference between boxing is those Mexican fighters who have the name like Canelo, like what's the other dude from Mexico right now that's popping? I can't think of his name.
Who?
Is it Jesse Garcia? Jesse Vargas? Mikey Garcia.
Mikey Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah, him. You know what I'm saying? These guys actually put in work to get where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get a name in boxing, you know what I mean? You put in work to get where. Just look at the Charlo brothers. I'm not a fan of them, you know what I'm saying? But you can't shake your head. No, they're winning fights, son. They're putting in work.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
I think it's just you're speaking from a standpoint of not a fan. Because if we was to pull somebody in here that watched UFC like how we watch boxing, they would be able to riddle off names. It's just we can't because we don't watch it like that.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Why are you saying his name, sir?
Because he is a popular fighter, but not a good fighter. So you can't say just because they put that work in. Junior didn't put in work, and he got a lot of fan base off of a name and him being Mexican.
But let's keep this about UFC though. I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole right now.
Listen. My point is, like I was saying, UFC is more geared towards the WWE style of things rather than the natural form of fighting that it was.
I will say this: the casual fans is annoying, and that's in like both sports because it's kind of like the same thing. Like if a casual fan watched Mayweather, it's boring because he's a technical fighter. A casual fan said this fight was boring because it was all ground and pound. But that's the art of the sport. That's the art of it. Like you should be able to appreciate that. I appreciate Floyd Mayweather's defense. I appreciate whoever's jabbed and whoever's body shots, and I appreciate what I saw from Khabib. I'm like, yo.
That definitely wasn't a boring fight.
It wasn't boring to me at all. And I'm watching it, and they explaining it as you watching it, and they like, yo, you see how he got his legs wrapped around him tight? Around his legs.
Like watching the technical side of it.
Yeah, that shit is dope.
He kept straightening his legs out to keep him around, and he couldn't get up. Like, that was definitely...
And then even with McGregor, I give him credit for the first round. Like, he didn't panic. He stayed upright in a seated position so that Khabib couldn't get a better hold on him. Like, I could see how it could look boring as a 5-minute round, and maybe for 2.5 minutes, they just laying there trying to, like, they jockeying for position. But I don't know, it's still interesting to me. It was still, when I knew the fight was over was in the third round. When it was less going to the ground. It was toe to toe. Conor was hitting him with shots. He was taking the shots. He was throwing shots back. That was the point where I'm like, oh, he can't. If he didn't take over now, it's over now. Because fourth round,
his punches when he was hitting them with them in the third round.
Because fourth round, you know they going back to the ground. If you wasn't able to take over in this third round, you wasn't able to drop him. You wasn't able to do nothing. Oh no, it's over for you. It's over.
Beneath them.
Yeah, I felt like it was over. Was in the second when he rocked his chin and Conor stumbled. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he dropped him with a punch.
I was like, okay, he bring it to the stand-up. And then immediately it was like Conor was worried about it, opened up the takedown. It was like once he rocked him, Conor had to worry about like, oh, shit, I can't only worry about the takedown. I kind of like, he just staggered the shit out of me. So, like, I have to worry about both. And it's like at that point, it's almost like, you know what I mean, in a football game or something like that, when you got an opponent and you know they can't do one thing, so you make them one-dimensional. It's like once he rocked him, he wasn't just one-dimensional Khabib anymore. He was, okay, I got to worry about other stuff too. And I think that's where it opened up to where I felt like Conor wasn't going to make it.
I was watching on the Joe Rogan podcast. Conor's trainer was
Joe Rogan.
He was talking about, like, he's giving Khabib props. Like, he was like, they was asking him, like, was anything surprising? He was like, I was surprised by that right hand that dropped him. But he was like, you know, we knew what was going to happen in the first round. He going to get you.
You mean when he was talking to Conor's corner man?
Yeah.
Trainer? Okay.
He was like, I know we're going to get him on the floor. He know he's going to get Conor on the floor. It's going to happen. But we don't want to waste too much energy trying to get back up. So that's why we just stayed there. Keep it, but don't use your energy trying to get back up. But they asked about him fighting Diaz, and that's probably which is crazy. That's probably a bigger fight than him fighting Khabib a second time, because it's a better matchup. I don't think nobody really believes that Conor could be Khabib. Like, I don't think nobody believes it. And he dominated so much that he might want the rematch because he want to prove it. And that's why I feel like he's not a fraud, because I really believe that he thinks, like, I seen this, I lost, I'm going to go out there and try to win again. I really think...
Let me clarify that. I don't think that he is putting on an act.
No, not even fraud. You was like, you think the money got to him, and I don't think so. I just think he came across somebody that was that much better than him.
And you got to remember too, he was talking like this before the money.
Yeah.
Before he became the A side and the most popular MMA fighter right now, he was talking brazy like this from beforehand.
He was talking like this when he lost to Diaz, and then in the rematch was still like he ain't get quiet after he lost.
No, that's always been him. That's always been him. But like, just I don't know. I mean,
you just don't like him. It's cool.
I mean, it may be that. It may be that.
It'd be 100. I don't like Mayweather at all. I don't like him at all. I just respect him as a boxer. I hate Mayweather.
But that's my problem. I can't even respect him as an MMA fighter. Two reasons. One, I'm not even that into MMA fighter to cast judgment on his fighting skills. But two, from the highlights that I saw, like, you can't talk the way you talk and walk the way you walk and get handled like that. I don't see how that adds up for me personally.
I just think he crossed the line with some of his comments. But Conor gonna be Conor though.
I wouldn't say he crossed the line. I mean, fuck it, all's fair in promoting a fight. Honestly, like it's about getting the most people to watch your fight as you can, and that's the same thing that Mayweather did. Like, even with Mayweather's fights, like, Mayweather knew going into it, it'd be a situation where it's like, all right, I'm going to have to cut. That's why they do, like, the press runs, and they go across the country. Like, Mayweather's on some, I'm going to have to carry this promotion. Like, I'm going to have to really be an asshole. I'm gonna have to be that guy. But then when he fought Conor, he didn't have to do all of the legwork because Conor was giving it right back to him.
That was so annoying. That probably was the worst. Oh man, that shit was so annoying.
But I would just say, I understand where you're coming from, Chips, and I understand your reasoning behind saying that, because to me, I feel like with you being a Mayweather fan, if anything ever happened like that to Mayweather, you would feel differently because of the way he talks. McGregor earned his stripes. He got 21 wins, 18 by knockout, 4 losses. So, I mean, it's a blemish on the record. He's not undefeated by any means. He wasn't undefeated going into this. But usually when he lost, it was on some losing on the ground type shit. Like, everybody knows to get Conor, you got to get him on the ground and you got to tire him out. With the Diaz fight, he got tired. Nate Diaz was a bigger fighter. He tired him out. He laid on him, paused, and he tired him out.
But which is a part of MMA.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
And that just goes back to what you said. Like, he can't be that one-trick pony and have that big of a name, being a one-trick pony and not being able to.
I just want to say you sound like a hypocrite right now.
Huh?
You sound like a hypocrite.
Why?
Because Mayweather was a one-trick pony, all defense fight.
No.
Mayweather ain't never go after nobody in any of his fights.
Because
that's not true though.
No, see, no.
Later on, after who was it?
Hold on, Pop. Now we talking about what I know. Now we talking what I know. No, Mayweather wasn't not an offensive juggernaut, okay? But Mayweather could dictate a fight with his jab, one, and he can lead you with the jab to open you up for other counter punches as well. Mayweather's strength, like you just said, was his defense. That was his trick.
One-trick pony, yep.
No, he wasn't a one-trick pony because he lured you in with his defense and then he let his offense work for him. That's what he.
What was his offense?
And on top of that, before he moved up in weight, he was way more offensive. But
I had to think of the fighter, but who was it? Hatton was his last knockout.
Yeah, because as he started to move up in weight, he would break his hand more, and his power didn't translate. But he had enough power to hit you with a pop shot and make you think about it. But
boxing, he's supposed to.
But some people walk through punches though. Some people don't respect the power and just
walk through his punches. After that fight, most people walk through his punches.
They thought
he would outscore you. He would literally outscore you.
But I would say later on in his career, he became like 90% defense. He was taking way more risk when he was on
early on when he was younger. I agree. Yep.
As he was moving through the ranks.
But that's fine. So with MMA, and we do the comparison with boxing all the time. And Pop, you raised this question, so I wanted to, bring this to the forefront because I felt like it was a very good question. In boxing, we have tune-up fights. Most fighters before a big fight, they have tune-up fights. The one thing with MMA is they pride themselves on providing the best fight for that best at that moment, no matter what. The best fighters are gonna fight the best fighters. There's no ducking. There's no running. It's strictly, hey, if you're the best and you're the best, you're fighting. In this situation, could it have benefited them to have a tune-up fight for Conor since he'd been off for so long? Maybe this is the one time where that best fighter fights the best fighter backfired on him.
I think it's being off for so long, and then it's fighting somebody that fights the way Khabib fights. Like, you can't be off for 2 years and then fight somebody with that style. You need to take somebody that's ground and pound a wrestler. Even the response I got when I asked people about it was, you can't risk that loss. Because how they say in boxing, it takes one punch to knock you out. The same thing. I might say Chris is the best wrestler, so let me fight Chips, who's a mid-level wrestler. But if I'm not good enough, Chip still gonna make me submit. And now I'm not gonna fight Chris. But man, he just looked. They didn't even look like they was on the same level. They ain't look like they belonged in they didn't belong in the octagon together. So it's like, I don't know, is it more training? But I don't know. I just think that.
And then Conor said that they did have 10,
brother. It's the WWE side of things, man. It's the promotion.
But when I asked the question, the guys that know was like, that's not how the sport goes. Like, that's kind of what is missing in boxing for fans of UFC. Like, I want to see Spence fight Thurman. I don't want to see Thurman get a warm-up and Spence get a warm-up, or Wilder and Joshua. I don't want to see them get warm-up.
Or it takes so many hoops.
Yeah, I want to see them fight. So in UFC, it's like, if Wilder and Joshua was in UFC, they'd be fighting.
You're going to see that.
Yeah.
And I agree. What I was going to ask when we brought up this topic, I'm not sure what UFC it was, but I know recently they were disappointed, the whole UFC crowd, and Dana White himself was disappointed at the showing of the pay-per-view, whatever pay-per-view that was recently. No more than 6 months ago, I believe. It was a very weak UFC. I probably could do more Googles about it, but would that be more of an issue? Like y'all said, UFC is about who's good, who's best right now versus who's the next best, putting them together. That's what makes their fights. Because their audience is so small, you can't risk having those tuna fights because nobody's going to tune into a tuna fight. You're only going to get your hardcore platform fans that's going to watch that tune-up fight. Like, UFC is trying to catch up to boxing as well as they're doing. They're still pretty far off from having the viewership and generating the money that boxing generates as a whole. So they can't risk having those tune-up fights and having those mid-level in-between fights.
Especially since they just sold UFC too.
Exactly. So they have to continue to put on the best show possible, pay-per-view after pay-per-view. That's why, and I wish I really knew what pay-per-view that was.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It say back in June of this year, it was UFC 225.
Exactly, yeah.
The headlines say UFC numbers continue to trend down.
Exactly. So they cannot afford to do that. They have to continuously push out the best, the most marketable fights, i.e. the Ronda Rouseys and the Conor McGregors, even if that's not the perfect matchup, and for the purists, the best fight. You know,
I used to wonder, like, why are so many fights on pay-per-view? Like, I guess because I'm just thinking everything boxing, where it's like only the big ones is pay-per-view. But it's like every 2 times a month or every month is a pay-per-view. Like,
so with UFC, that's where everybody's a big showing. Now you look at that particular one, that was Whitaker versus Romero too. Obviously Whitaker is an older fighter, so it was a rematch of a pretty good fight around the first one. The ratings itself or the views were down, but that was up until September. That was the most attendance that they had all year. That was 18,000 seats or in attendance at that one.
No, I think that was at the United States numbers though.
Huh?
They talking about them pay-per-view buys.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you think of where they're actually doing it, and then, with the, outside of pay-per-view buys, you look at attendance too, and the views itself, the pay-per-view buys were down. How much does that play a part in as far as people, not us obviously, but people pirating it and, watching it illegally?
Never would I do that.
You said what?
I would never do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's, obviously, you know, not us, but, you know, I feel like that plays a part in it. So then to sort of circumvent that part of it, like, okay, views can be skewed because there's other options and other alternatives that you have other than paying for it. So then let's see how many people actually went. And then you have the attendance, where that was 18,000. The next closest one before September's fight, which was in Russia, so I feel like that's why that one was such a big one, was this one, this recent one, Khabib McGregor, which was at 20,000 because it was in Vegas.
But see, that's my point. Like, in attendance is going to be a purist, you know what I'm saying? And a couple of stragglers that's the casual fan. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like Pop said, they rely so heavily on those pay-per-views, because that reaches so many more people that's not your purists, your casuals, you know what I'm saying? The fight parties here, the bar playing it here, you know what I mean? You can't go off attendance because your attendance is going to be your base. You know what I mean? That's like your boy Trump. He gonna have everybody at his rally screaming, "Yay, yay, Trump, Trump!" But more than half of the United States don't like him as president right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they go off of.
Oh, Al, that was actually a good analogy, son.
It is.
Oh, when you think
about
proud of you, son.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
I was like, where is he going? I was like, where he going with this?
Let me pour a shot.
Oh no,
pour a shot of that yak. But that's why they can't afford to do the tune-up thing. They have to continuously push out the best fight possible, the best marketable fight possible.
It is still a young company too, though. If you look at, like, you think of how long boxing has been around, MMA hasn't been around as long. So that could be playing a big part in it, you know.
Yeah.
But good shows, man. Good show. A lot of information, fellas. Giants still suck. Yankees next year.
R.I.P.
Yeah. But, leave your comments, like, share, definitely comment. Every time we get a comment, one of us is responding to it on the YouTube channel, guys. So definitely chime in. We want to hear your opinions. We want to see what you feel like. You guys are misfitting with us. So let your voice be heard.
Yo, Call of Duty come out in 2 days. Get with it or lay down. Misfitz in the building.
On that note, we out.